Hello, my name's Daniel Morden and I'm the author of Firefly's new book, Strange Tales. And when I'm not doing my book writing, I do my storytelling. I travel around schools and museums and festivals and theatres telling the stories from long ago, the myths, the legends, the fairy tales that our ancestors used to tell. And the result of all that storytelling is the book Strange Tales. If you like, it's kind of all my favourite stories in one book. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit of one of the stories contained within the covers of Strange Tales, in the hope that it will excite you so much that you will rush out to your local independent bookstore and buy a copy of the book. Now, the story I'm going to tell you is called The Luck Child. It's been one of my favourites for more years than I care to admit to. You'll find a version of it in the fairy tales of the Brothers Grimm. And so, as you would expect, it begins with one of my favourite phrases in the English language, once upon a time. Another one of my favourite phrases in the English language is all you can eat. But that's another story. Here we go. Once upon a time, a baby was born in a hut made of the broken bits of boats on a beach. Baby's mother and father had no money, but they had friends, and just inland from their beach there was a village, and in the village there was an old woman. Now, in those days, the old women were known to be the ones who carried the knowledge. They knew everything that you needed to know. They were skilled in the healing of people using herbs and lotions and potions. And so they sent word to her, and she came at once, and she brought the baby into the world safely, and she saw that on the baby's forehead there was a mark, a birth mark, not a lightning flash, a red mark shaped like a raspberry. And she said, I know by this mark that one day your son will marry a princess. Well, that was a juicy bit of gossip. So she went to the village. She told the people in the village what she discovered. And someone from the village had to go to town on market day. And they took the story to the town. And someone from the town eventually had to go to the city. Now, on the hill in the city was the castle. And in the castle lived the king. And so he heard a rumour that his beautiful daughter, who'd just been born, was destined to marry some brat who'd come into the world in a hut on a beach, a hut made of the broken bits of boats. So late one night, the king took off his royal robes, dressed himself as an ordinary person, slipped out of a secret passage of his palace, and made his way along the coast of his country, till didn't he find a beach where there was a hut made of the broken bits of boats. And the king, in his disguise, he went to the door and knocked. The door was opened by the baby's father. In his disguise, remember, the king said, I was passing by, heard a baby crying. Do you have a girl or a boy? We have a boy. A boy? Listen to me now. I am rich, but I have no children. You are poor, and you have a son. Now listen to me. If you loved your son, you would give him to me. And I swear to you, I will take him to the city. I will buy him every privilege. And with the things my money could buy him, who knows? He may even marry a A princess? The baby's father looked at the baby's mother, and they said, "It is fate. It is destiny that you have come to the house this day. We are meant to give our child to you." And so they picked up their only child, and they carried the child in its blanket over to this stranger whom they had just met. And they handed the baby over and they said, "You'll take care of him." And the stranger said, "Don't you worry. I'll take care of him." And then he jumped on his horse, rode to the nearest river and threw the baby in. Straight away it was swept downstream. And the king, "That's the last I'll ever see of him." Do you think it was? Of course it wasn't. No. What happens next? To find out, you'll have to get yourself a copy of Strange Tales.